Greetings from LA, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. And right now it is where I am, Monday, September 18th, 2023, and it's my understanding that a few hours ago the Criterion Collection on its website made its announcement with respect to its planned releases for December 2023. So if it's okay, my dear friends, let us share our thoughts and comments with regard to this latest batch of upcoming releases from the Criterion Collection. And so, like with these announcement reactions, let me, if it's okay with you, share with you my initial thoughts and impressions upon first listening to or discovering what the December 2023 planned releases from Criterion are. It's a very interesting collection of titles, but of course with the understanding that my thoughts and comments might change when we actually explore the item, or explore the films together, you and me, when it comes time for us to actually get the item in December when they are available. So let's keep that in mind, of course. And of course, there might be some additional information between now and release date. Criterion and indeed other labels as well with their own respective releases. But Criterion is no exception to this. Of course, there might be some updates or changes or amendments, etc., that might be made between now and the release date. So we should always check back with the website if there's any such information. But with respect to those points, let us then, you and I, share with each other just our initial reactions with regard to the planned December 2023 releases from the Criterion Collection. And so first up, and let me see here, yes, scheduled for release December 5th, 2023. And this is a title which is at spine number 428. So in fact, it already exists in the Criterion Collection. This is described as being from the year 1961, and it is a film by Alan Barron, and the name of the work is Blast of Silence. So Blast of Silence is re-emerging in the Criterion Collection, and as I indicated, yes, it currently sits in the Criterion Collection catalog. It currently sits as a DVD, in fact, so it's very interesting. I'm looking at the website right now, and it looks like, according to the website, again, I'm looking at my computer screen right now, there doesn't seem to be any DVD option made available on the Criterion website. It just says Blu-ray, the single disc Blu-ray. So that's interesting. I wasn't aware that there was any type of availability issues with this DVD release. But in any event, the DVD that I'm speaking of is right here. And here we go, Blast of Silence. Sorry for the reflection here. Oh, that's bad. There we go. The Blast of Silence DVD. By Alan Barron, and this is the DVD which was first printing here indicated at the year 2008, spine number 428, and it has a number of interesting goodies. Maybe something that's very interesting and unique to this is, in addition to the inside of the disc and the booklet here, there's also a comic, which is also very interesting. So I hope that the comic will also be made available as part of the Blu-ray offering. It looks like from the website and the website description that will be. So that's an interesting little bit of physical media, say, a paraphernalia. That's part of the fun of physical media collecting. And that's certainly true for Blast of Silence, especially considering that the comic is really interesting and engaging in and of itself, and it's a great supplement, a complement/supplement to the film. Blast of Silence. Okay, so I had never seen this film prior to this Criterion DVD, and so when I played this for the first time, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. And it is, when it was over, I was, again, so stunned. It was very entertaining. There were a lot of, say, almost film noirish cues that were part of its, say, story arc, as well as its look and style, and has a great look. This is a New York City film, a 1960s New York City film, a black and white 1960s New York City film with this type of rough-edged, harsh, and noirish, film noirish type of plot to it. That's so engaging, so entertaining. and it has a brilliant type of grittiness to it, which I think it has a lovely pace and rhythm. And indeed, there are a number of images and sounds that I think might be said to be maybe harken back to when we get to other examples of American cinema from, say, the late 1960s into the 1970s and beyond. So this is a film that I think has a lot of familiarity in terms of its cinema and visual grammar and style. This is such a great film, such a cool film. Alan Barron's Blast of Silence. It is probably, I think maybe because of its DVD status, it might not necessarily have been on say, maybe not necessarily gotten as much attention as I hope it would get. And so with this news of the Blu-ray coming to Criterion, this is very exciting, and hopefully this will mean that a lot of people, or this will get more exposure, and more people will talk about this great film, Blast of Silence. It looks like from the website that we are dealing with, we're probably going to get the same type of cover art design. We'll of course examine that as well, and we'll when the Blu-ray arrives. And it looks like here that it says that the website says that the new 4K digital restoration presented in 2 aspect ratios, 1.85 to 1 widescreen and 1.33 to 1 full screen with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. That's very interesting. That seems to be an update from the earlier DVD, the new restored digital transfer DVD right here. So that'll be interesting to compare with the, I apologize for the glare here, with the possibility of the optional, say, format choices or the aspect ratio choices. So very exciting indeed. You know, this was made available at 1.33 to 1 aspect ratio. So it'll be interesting to see this in type of the widescreen treatment. Although I must admit that this aspect ratio, one I'm used to because of the DVD experience that I've had with this, is a very it's very, I think it has a nice fit to the plot and the proceedings and the ambience and style. So it'll be wonderful to see how people will respond to the Blu-ray and the format or the aspect ratio offerings, as well as other paraphernalia. And it looks like, as I indicated before, there will be a number of things that will be carried over, including that interesting detail of the comic book. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. But oh my goodness, what a great film this is, Blast of Silence. And with this Blu-ray offering, it is, again, the possibility of this re-emerging into the conversation and Criterion fan circles. Oh, that's very exciting indeed. So this is scheduled for release, again, at December 5th, or on December 5th, 2023, and at spine number 428. This is the Alan Barron film, which is Blast of Silence. Next, scheduled for release on December 12th, 2023, and this is, according to the website, going to be offered either in a 2-disc Blu-ray release or a 2-disc DVD release. And this is for Spine 1200, which is very interesting. And it is The Red Balloon and Other Stories, 5 films by Albert LAMORISSE. And we have the 5 films being The Red Balloon, White Mane, Bim the Little Donkey, Stowaway in the Sky, and Circus Angel. And it looks like we have new 4K digital restorations for The Red Balloon and White Mane, and new 2K digital restorations for Bim the Little Donkey, Stowaway in the Sky, and Circus Angel, with uncompressed monaural soundtracks on a Blu-ray, plus a number of special features and language version possibilities for the specified films. So, spine number 1200, Albert LAMORISSE, 5 films. This is a very pleasant surprise. I'm very, this puts a big smile on my face because for a number of reasons. So, these works by Albert LAMORISSE are charming, and they have a poignancy and delicacy that I think is universal, or that are universal. And so it'll be lovely to see the handling of these, and again in the restoration formats, again with the Blu-ray option or the DVD option. A good point about the DVD option, I'm very happy to see DVD still made available. The DVD format is a very important format so it's great to have that made available, if not for all releases, then for some of the releases. And it looks like this release, the Albert LAMORISSE films, The Red Balloon and Other Stories, 5 films by Albert LAMORISSE, this set, or this collector's set, will be part of that. So that's wonderful. Speaking of which, these films, or some of them at least, do have a connection with the Criterion Collection, all the way back to the Laserdisc days, in fact, but also in the context of Janus children's classic films, or Janus Films releases. And so we have, for example, this DVD, which is what I have here, which is a combo DVD of the Red Balloon and White Mane. And then I also have a separate DVD for the Red Balloon, and also a separate DVD, for example, for White Mane. So these were all based upon what at the time were described as being new restored high-definition digital transfers. But it'll be interesting to see what the 4K or the 2K restorations in some of the films and the 4K restorations for the other films will have to offer. So this is very, very lovely. Incidentally, these early or previously released DVDs in the context of Janus Films home media do have that connection with the Criterion Collection via Janus Films, but they weren't necessarily Criterion Collection spine-numbered releases. So in an interesting way, we have this spine number 1200 release in an interesting way, almost reaffirming the placement of these titles that have always existed in the context of Janus Films releases, or the Voyager Company, or in say Laserdisc era, etc. But now we have them in the Criterion Collection and spine numbered glory. So in that way, the spine numbering, if one considers, say, the hundreds spine numbering to hold some kind of significance, one could say that in the context of Criterion Collection and physical media history, one can say that the Red Balloon and Other Stories, the 5 films by Albert LAMORISSE set, or the release here, could be said to have its own, say, connection or reestablishment, if you will, or recalibration of these films, or at least some of the films. Because some, not others, had existed in the past. We are getting some new titles, in a manner of speaking, plus some quote-unquote familiar faces, end quote. The Red Balloon and White Mane being those familiar faces. But those familiar faces are now given spine numbers, or at least this collective spine number of 1200. So in that way, they are now part of the Criterion Collection spine number catalog directly. So in that way, that's a kind of cause for celebration for Criterion Collection physical media enthusiasts and spine number enthusiasts, and those who know the history of, say, White Mane and the Red Balloon. And going forward, and plus the other films combined to form the 5 films by Albert LAMORISSE of the title of the release. This is great news. This is absolutely great news. This is so wonderful. And to be able to speak about films like the Red Balloon, my goodness. It'll be wonderful to revisit this film again. So I'm very thrilled with this. And it looks like there will be some special features that are offered that haven't been offered in past, say, these DVD releases. So it'd be great to see what those provide. So I'm very excited for this, and it'll be great to be able to speak about this. Again, scheduled for release December 12th, 2023. And this is for spine number 1200, and this is The Red Balloon and Other Stories, 5 films by Albert LAMORISSE. And last but certainly not least, scheduled for release on December 12th, 2023, and this is scheduled for release at spine number 1201, so 1201. And this is a film which is described as being from the year 2022. And the name of the filmmaker is, the filmmakers are Guillermo del Toro and Mark Gustafson. And this is the work which is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. And this is going to be offered on a 4K UHD plus Blu-ray combo, 2 discs, or a 1-disc Blu-ray, or a 2-disc DVD. So we have the 4K master, and with the 4K UHD and Blu-ray combo option, or the DVD option, or the Blu-ray only option. So that's wonderful in terms of preserving the legacy of the DVD format and also the single Blu-ray option. That's wonderful, plus the 4K UHD offering. 2022, Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio from Del Toro and Mark Gustafson. So I have not seen this. I have heard so many things about this. I know it had a lot of attention around the time of its release, and then also post-release in terms of award season's attention with respect to this work. And I knew so many things about it, but again, with my own very poor catching up with recent releases from, say, circa 2022 and prior and after, this was something that I was not able to watch. So this will be a great opportunity. I have heard a number of things about this already from a number of viewers and friends. So I'm looking forward to this immensely. And I see just at a quick glance from the website, it seems like there should be some interesting little treats and goodies with regard to the cover art and the design and the layout and the physical media goodness, and that's part of this, plus a number of, it looks like a lot, wow, of special features. So looking forward. This looks like a packed release. And I've mentioned it before, maybe in past releases from Criterion, I've noticed that sometimes the supplement section might seem a little bit lacking in terms of quantity. Well, if that's the case, then it looks like this release of Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is going to be on the opposite side of that. It's going to be just utterly packed with a lot of interesting goodies. So this will be a first-time watch for me, and I'm looking forward to this immensely. So this is going to be scheduled for spine number 1201. Again, this is work from 2022, and this is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. All right, my dear friends, so that's it as far as the releases go, at least what's being announced today. So it looks like maybe on paper that we're getting, say, maybe a low quantity of releases, although if we count, say, the 5 films that are included in one such release, the Albert LAMORISSE set, then we are getting a lot of films released in December. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, of course, remember, in past years, December has usually been a quote-unquote quieter month in terms of releases. So maybe in terms of the great, say, fanfare and attention given to the prior months, October, November, and this year is no exception to that. December tends to be, again, in the eyes of many, to be a quieter month, and that's, I think, understandable given maybe the end of year and the holiday season and the like. And so perhaps that again, it's not any surprise to me, but that doesn't take away from my excitement from what we are getting. And indeed, in terms of actual films that were being released, taking into consideration that 5-film set, the LAMORISSE 5-film set, we are getting a lot of films. So it's a really exciting time, a very, very exciting time. And Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is one I haven't seen. I'm very excited about this, and as I mentioned, I've heard a lot of things about it, but I haven't yet to see it. But I will see it now in December. And then the 5-film set, the Albert LAMORISSE set. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so exciting. And just to be able to address those. And again, from the currency of the Criterion Collection physical media history, its placement here as a spine numbered set, I mean, with the comprehensive 1200 spine number granted, but still with a spine number, that I think has that is reflective of a type of history that is associated with at least some of those films in the LAMORISSE set, Red Balloon and White Mane being the prime examples there. So that's very exciting, as well as being able to talk about the films themselves. And, of course, Blast of Silence. Oh, Blast of Silence. And again, the opportunity to be able to speak about this film and then comparing it with the prior DVD release, which was a great release, by the way, but now with the possibility of this restoration and the Blu-ray offering, and then the possibility of aspect ratio options. And, of course, the film itself, hopefully finding as many new watches as possible, first-time watches, as well as re-watches. So very, very very entertaining film. So Blast of Silence is re-emerging in the Criterion Collection. So and an interesting detail about the lack of DVD availability for Blast of Silence, at least as of the time of this video. And I'm not sure about that. Maybe I should check my details on that. But I do have the prior DVD of Blast of Silence. Speaking of the DVD format, it's great to see the DVD format alive well in the other releases. I should say too that it might be maybe for some to be a disappointing month of December. If you feel that way, that's totally okay. But I think for my money, again, the LAMORISSE set is exciting. Blast of Silence is exciting. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is very exciting. And so very, very thrilling indeed. And of course, when we have 1 month of releases, we'll have, of course, other months as well to enjoy the month leading up to December and beyond. So if you do feel somewhat disappointed, that's okay. I can understand how you feel. But again, December is, historically speaking, a quote-unquote quieter month. But for me and how I feel, I am also very, very excited for this month of December. So how do you feel, my dear friends? Please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. As always, I'd love to hear what it is you have to say. All right, my dear friends, so that's it for now. And so until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well. And please keep on watching a lot of great, great, great movies. So until the next video, my dear friends, stay strong, stay safe, and cheers.